We would be honored if you would join us.
Welcome, Blockade Runners. Today I want to talk about something that some might consider old news. But it's a subject that I really want to revisit. And that's the pre-order announcement that came out of San Diego Comic-Con. Ever since then, fans have been so excited that I started to wonder, am I the only one who was upset about the info they released? There were many things that did and did not happen that really made me uneasy. First of all, I found it very unusual that they wanted to make the announcement at a major event, but then secretly update the site in the early morning hours. To me, it just didn't make any sense. I could be wrong. There could have been some business advantage for doing that. But think of it this way. Let's say you are a hardcore SWTOR fan, and you bought your ticket to Comic-Con so you could support this game. You make the trip, put a good amount of money down for one of San Diego's finest hotel rooms. You then get to the event and you hear, yes, pre-order is now available, but you better buy it ASAP because we are having a limited launch. Unless you are one of the lucky people that have a phone you can use the internet on, and it is fast enough that you could do a pre-order transaction on, you were screwed. Then you could not truly enjoy the event because you were too worried about getting your pre-order in before they run out. Which leads me to my next point. Why did BioWare feel like they had to make the pre-order into a scare tactic? They were really pushing people to buy it ASAP. I lost track of how many times they reiterated the limited launch and limited supply of the collector editions. Don't they realize the Titanic-sized fan base they have for this game? The last thing they would ever have to do is try to scare people into ordering. And speaking of the collector's edition, that specific version of the game was the most controversial topic of the whole pre-order. Sure, the price was very expensive, but that's not the worst part. Let's face it, the amount and quality of things you could physically get with the collector's edition was well worth $150. It was the digital items that really stood out as appealing, especially the infamous collector's edition store. The gentle giant Darth Malgus statue was a really awesome item, but the store was the one thing that made everyone consider spending the money for the collector's edition. But it was also the one thing that had no information about at all. I know that I personally had to say, alright, I will wait for the panel to find out the information about it before I pre-order. I am sure many of you know exactly what I am talking about. And I am sure many of you were pissed to find out that they said nothing about it. We had to wait for the Q&A at BioWare base to hear anything mentioned. Then all that Mr. Olan could say was, it will contain really cool items that we have yet to determine. It was the same story with the holocam. That was the moment that I actually felt insulted. Well, hold on a hot minute, let's back up. I know we, as a SWTOR community, are used to the uncertainty of almost everything that has to do with this game, especially the release date. But now it is different. BioWare, you are now asking us to put money down on this game that not only does not have a release date, but now you don't even know what the items that you are advertising are used for, or what they contain? To me, it was getting pretty hard to swallow. I have been following this game enthusiastically for years. I am one of those guys that have been saying, oh yeah man, I don't care how much it is, when the game comes out, I am getting the collector's edition. Because I am a huge Star Wars fan, so I want the best of the best. But after this announcement and the way it was handled, I swallowed my pride and took the digital deluxe instead, which I heard a lot of people had to do. Unless you were willing to pay that much just to have the statue, it wasn't worth that much hard-earned cash. Am I the only person that thinks this way? Send me an email to blockaderunner2011@yahoo.com. Tell me your thoughts. Every website I have come across has nothing negative to say at all. I surely can't be the only one. Let me know how you truly feel. I won't sugarcoat it, or ignore it. I will address everyone, even if it takes a full episode to do so. Now, after hearing all that, I wanted to drop some speculation your way about why it might have been handled so poorly. I say again, speculation. As some of you may know, The Tuesday before Comic-Con, there was a rumored leak from a game company about the pre-order. They didn't say it was going to be released in San Diego, but there were just pictures of the game cover and the collector's edition contents. Maybe the reason why the presentation and announcement of the pre-order was so poor was because they never intended to announce it at Comic-Con in the first place. It is possible that after the leak they said, well, the cat is out of the bag, maybe we should just announce it in San Diego while there is so much hype about it right now. Personally, I truly hope that is what happened. Because if they actually planned to make this huge announcement, and fully intended to tell everyone to buy it ASAP, knowing full well that they still don't know the information about the items, and for them to believe that it is perfectly acceptable? I am not sure what to say to that, besides that I feel like they might think of us as blind consumers, like Mikey. Give it to Mikey, Mikey will eat anything. There are some very hardcore Star Wars fans out there that will buy anything. You could take a nice steaming dump, call it Star Wars official bantha fodder, and some people, sadly including myself, would at least think about buying it. Is this what is happening with the Old Republic? I sure hope not. But regardless, it is worth keeping an eye open for. But to be clear, even though they were unfortunately overshadowed by the drama, there was some exciting things about pre-order that was announced as well. The major thing that everyone seems to be excited for the most is the early game access. Stephen Raid stated that it would be days or maybe weeks, but most fans are expecting about 7 days, and again, that is all based on when you registered your pre-order code. If you haven't already heard, the sooner you register your code with the Old Republic website, the sooner you will get into the early access. There are still some people out there that I have run into that are just plain confused about this process. If you have any questions, feel free to let us know so we can help. Alright. Now it is time for the communication report.
Mail, motherfucker!
This is where we will answer any emails or communications from our viewers. Our first email is from SWTOR. He writes, "Hey bro, I was just wondering what your prediction for release is. Well, SWTOR, I was planning on releasing some oil deposits right after this broadcast. If ya know what I am saying, dog. But if you were talking about the release date for SWTOR, I am predicting November 22nd. Since Black Friday, which is the biggest shopping day of the year, is the 25th, and since BioWare is known for releasing games on Tuesdays, I say the Tuesday before Black Friday. If they don't get it out before then, I will be very surprised." Our next email is from PubLifeRZ. He writes, "Dear CR90, what is your take on loot containers?" Well, PubLifeRZ, first of all, I am CR91, I am just a bit better than the CR90. But I actually like the idea of loot containers. I think the hardcore raiders are scared of them. They are afraid it will mess with progression. I have heard many people say that it just won't be fair for everyone to get a piece of gear from every boss. In their interviews, the developers stated clearly that there is a chance, just a chance, for gear to drop in the container. Even if actual gear does appear in the container, the only thing certain so far is that they will be class specific. They didn't even say it will be a tier level gear. It most likely will be junk and some extra badges or emblems. Just think of it as just an extra random roll every boss, for every player. That's all I am going to say about them, because I plan on making that a main topic on another episode, so stay tuned. Our last email is from Big Poop Face. Awesome name by the way, sir. He writes, "I just wanted to say, I am mad that a dark side Jedi cannot join the Sith Empire. I am glad you mentioned this, because it fits in well with this broadcast. This has been a big debate for some time. Daniel Erickson has stated that it wouldn't make sense for a Dark Jedi to join the Sith, since they just destroyed his home. And I agree with that, but then, during the panel at Comic-Con, they showed a clip of a story arc. A Sith warrior challenged a Jedi, and lost. When he chooses to spare him, they show the Sith warrior actually joining the Jedi Order, totally contradicting everything they have been saying for months. Didn't they think this might piss some people off? So now, I totally agree with Big Poopy Face. I am mad now too. Well, sadly, that's all we have for today. I hope you enjoyed our show. Remember, the door is always open. Email us anytime and let us know your feelings about anything related to Star Wars: The Old Republic. Until the next run, this is CR91, signing off.